Joining me live now in the studio is the political editor at the Financial Review, Phil Coorey. Thanks, Phil, for being here. It's a very interesting situation where election not that far away. The two states that have had the hard border and been, vigilant on it, WA and Queensland, one's going one way now, the other remaining firm, and they lose the fifth Ashes test as a result.
Yeah, they're really sort of isolated now, WA, aren't they, in terms of we've had the country pretty much divided into two mindsets for the last 6 months or so. The plague states, like us and New South Wales and Victoria, and the COVID-free states. And we've seen in the last couple of weeks, South Australia and now Queensland dip their toe in the water and sort of respond to that pressure, that you can't live without, you can't live COVID-free forever and you're going to have to let it in at some stage. Otherwise, you're going to have to keep your borders shut. So I think, they're both pretty brave political decisions by South Australia and the Queensland governments. South Aussie more so, given they've got an election in March. But you can see McGowan, he's just not for turning ever, and it's cost him a test match. So, but he's now pretty much the outlier, or he is the outlier in terms of he's going to pursue this sort of zero COVID until he gets to a certain vaccination rate.
So it's one of these variables, isn't it, with the election to know how the Emperor McGowan, a very popular leader there, Palaszczuk, very popular in Queensland. How does this all trickle down in terms of votes at the federal poll?
Well, the federal Liberal Party, the government, they think the longer they can leave the federal election, the more it will play to their advantage in WA. They're clearly unpopular there now. McGowan's hugely popular, but they're only the only thing that's going to change whatever Mark McGowan is doing is from within. The more anyone criticises WA from outside of WA, the more popular it makes McGowan, because it's that parochial syndrome. And being a South Australian, I understand it well. So you can't attack him, you just make him stronger. So it will only come from within with West Australians. They'll look at that. We've lost the cricket. It's now their second Christmas in a row. They can't see relatives either overseas or interstate. So I think the view is within the federal government that the longer that goes over there, they'll maybe McGowan will remain popular, but people will yearn for a sense of balance. And they're not going to get it from a state opposition because there isn't one. So I think it's two of them or something, isn't there? So they may, as Morrison keeps saying when he goes on Perth at radio, you're going to get McGowan regardless of what happens in the federal election. It's just whether you want McGowan and me or McGowan and Albanese. So.